Firstly, I believe that the US president should be taken seriously when he says that he wants Greenland. But I also want to make it clear that if the United States chooses to attack another NATO country militarily, then everything stops. That is, including our NATO, and thus the security that has been provided since the end of the Second World War.
How have other NATO members responded to these threats from Donald Trump?
Good morning. Yesterday we saw a whole range of European leaders and officials come out and pledge support for Greenland and for Denmark. Now, as you might know, it's not the first time Donald Trump says that he needs Greenland for national security purposes. Last year, he repeatedly went out and made statements about this. And European nations have generally been on the side of Greenland and Denmark in this spat. Now, what's different now is of course, really the timing. It comes right after the raid on Venezuela. And Trump has also, for the first time, kind of put a bit of a timeline on it, said that we'll talk about Greenland in 20 days. And most of all, there's a sense now that it's not just talk. As you said, Mette Frederiksen has said that Trump means this seriously, and we have to take it seriously. Of course, that put allies in a potentially much more difficult situation. One thing is pledging your support when everything is fine, but should Trump actually use force in Greenland, it would, as Mette Frederiksen says, probably be the end of NATO, and it would really test the unity of European allies.
Sanne, when we're thinking about Trump's motives here, does the fact that the US has had the right to build military bases in Greenland and yet it still wants to own it show that this is not about national security, this is about minerals?
It's a very good question. I mean, there is, as you say, the US does have the right to build as many military bases as it wants in Greenland. That's according to a decades-old treaty with Denmark. The only thing it really has to do is inform Denmark and Greenland. Denmark's prime minister has said she's open to the US boosting its military presence in Greenland. So the big question is, why has the US not used this right if it is actually national security it's worried about? It's done so previously. During the Cold War, it had dozens of military installations in Greenland, but it scaled back and now only has one base. So it raises questions, are there other interests at play? People close to Donald Trump have been talking a lot about Greenland's critical minerals and vast natural resources. These are becoming more accessible with climate change as the ice is melting. Trump has pushed back on the claim that should be driving his interests. And what we're hearing from the Greenlandic side is, if critical minerals is what you want, why have you not invested in it? We've been open for business for a long time. We have investments from a lot of other countries, a lot of mines with investments from Canada. China has also attempted to invest in the mineral industry in Greenland. Why has the US not done so? What interest exactly is driving Trump is difficult to say, but the message very much from Greenland and from Denmark is, regardless of whether it's the minerals or the national security, you can achieve your aims without taking control of Greenland.
Well, let's see if that message gets through. Sanne, thank you so much for your reporting. Bloomberg's Copenhagen reporter there, Sanne Vass.